Imagine a scale. On one side, the stethoscope, the medical oath to save a life, any life. On the other, a national flag and a gavel, the weight of law and a country at war. For a doctor in 1940s Japan, these two forces don't just conflict, they demand a choice that could lead to the gallows. In World War II Japan, national loyalty was the baseline of existence. The country was locked in a struggle with the United States, and the internal pressure to view the enemy as subhuman was a matter on state policy. Dr. Sadao Hoki and his wife Hana live on a remote stretch of the Japanese coast. Their lives are interrupted when a dark shape crawls out of the surf. It is a 17-year-old American sailor named Tom, a prisoner of war, bleeding from a gunshot wound that has been ripped open by the rocks. The legal reality is immediate. To shelter a white man is an act of treason. If Sadao and Hana take him in, they face execution. If they leave him on the beach or turn him in, the boy faces certain death. Every choice carries a lethal consequence. Sadao's training as a surgeon in America has given him a perspective that his father's traditionalism never could. He is now caught in a crisis where his identity as a Japanese citizen is at war with his identity as a doctor. The crisis moves from the beach into the home. When Sadao and Hana bring the soldier inside, the household servants immediately revolt. They refuse to touch the prisoner, viewing his presence as both a political danger and a spiritual curse. This friction is a common focus for exam questions. To understand why the servants left, you have to look at their dual motivations: the rational fear of being charged as accomplices to treason, and the superstitious belief that the enemy brings a curse that will ruin the house. During the operation, Sadao treats the procedure like a mechanical problem, telling himself, "If the man were whole, I could turn him over to the police." He isn't acting out of sympathy. He operates on a wound, avoiding the emotional weight of his patient. At this point, the soldier is still just a burden, a threat to his family's safety. Sadao's medical ethics have won the first round, but his patriotic guilt is far from resolved. Sadao confesses to General Takima, who offers a dark compromise, sending private assassins to take care of the boy. But the general never sends the killers. Focused entirely on his failing health, he simply forgets the prisoner, unwilling to risk the only doctor he trusts. For 3 nights, Sadao lies awake, listening for the sound of an assassin's blade. He is essentially waiting for a murder he has sanctioned. When the boy recovers and tries to thank him, Sadao reacts coldly. "Don't thank me too early." This tension is where the shift begins. Over those 3 nights of waiting, Sadao's perspective changes. He realizes that by waiting for the assassins, he is betraying the very life he just worked so hard to save. The enemy has spent days in his father's room, eating his food and being tended to by his wife. When the 3rd night passes in silence, Sadao takes action himself. He provides him with a sturdy boat, bottled water and food, and a flashlight for signaling. He doesn't just let the boy go, he actively facilitates his survival. By the time the boat disappears into the mist, the abstract enemy has been replaced by a human being. The professional duty to sustain life has finally silenced the nationalist pressure to destroy it. To master this chapter for the board exam, you must be able to answer how Sadao emerged as a savior of humanity. This requires connecting his specific actions to the story's broader themes. Use a 3-part structure for long-form answers. Start with the initial dilemma of the beach. In the body, analyze the conflict between his Hippocratic oath and the risk of treason. Finally, conclude with how he moved past racial prejudice. Your analysis needs to be supported by these core concepts. Referencing universal brotherhood and the Hippocratic Oath provides the textual evidence examiners expect to see in a high-scoring response. Use precise descriptors for Sadao's character. Describe him as dutiful to his profession, resolute in the face of domestic pressure, and ultimately courageous for risking his life to ensure the prisoner's escape. Focusing on these turning points ensures you aren't just summarizing the plot. You are demonstrating the story's ultimate conclusion, that the shared bond of human life is more durable than the borders drawn by war.